Hey everybody, and welcome to the Smyrna First Youth Ministry podcast. We are so excited that you have decided to join us today. Today, we have a conversation with Sarah Voelkel. She's a Sunday morning volunteer here in the youth ministry. She goes to the 8:55 service most of the time, and is also a teacher over at Whitfield Academy. A lot of you guys might have been feeling a lot of uneasiness about what it meant to be a homeschool teacher, and now you're wondering what summer's going to be like, and you wonder if school is even going to happen in the fall. Well, we kind of talk about all of that. One of my favorite things about this conversation is that it really encompasses all of what life is right now. Were there technical issues? Yes. Was there internet issues? Yes. You've probably been dealing with that too. At one point, Sarah has to run out to check on our kids who are in the backyard because who knows what's going on. And so all of these things happen in our lives right now. We feel like we're trying to do work and we get interrupted. We feel like we're in a groove and we're ready to go, and then the internet cuts out or whatever it might be. And so we hope that this podcast will empower you. We hope that it will bring you hope. We hope that it will show you that we're all in this together still, and we will continue to be. So please enjoy our conversation, and I hope you have an amazing time. Hey everybody, welcome to the Smyrna First Youth Ministry podcast. We're very excited. Our entire goal is to send students on their journey in a manner worthy of God. And today we're very excited to be joined by Sarah Voelkel. She is a teacher over at Whitfield Academy, along with being one of our Sunday school volunteers and a Smyrna First member. So Sarah, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So why don't you just tell people a little bit about yourself, about your family, and a little bit about what you do.
My name is Sarah Voelkel. Like you said, we attend the 8:55 Alive service. We are usually the ones that come in 5-10 minutes late with all the children that run up front with the donuts. And many of you have seen my son, Andrew. He loves to dance or yell out, give shout outs to Braveheart Bruce. That's one of his favorites. So he's always up there, and we're coming in. We love the service. Let's see. My normal day life, I am a middle school science teacher at Whitfield Academy, and we have always said 2 small kids. My husband is awesome. You've seen him. He's really tall, kind of losing some hair, really burly guy, really cute. If you see him, that's my husband. He's taken, and that's us. We love Smyrna First, and we're always outside doing something. We're kind of outdoorsy, stinky family, but that's us.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Both my little kids love outside, and if I can be outside, I'm okay.
Absolutely. We would live in a tree house, I think, if we could.
So schools obviously look differently the last couple of months. What does it kind of, from a teacher's perspective, what does it kind of look like for you? Because I've heard a lot from student perspective or parent perspective, but what does it look like from a teacher?
I think it depends. It's very, I think, different. I hate to say from public to private. From my end, I hold Zoom meeting classes 4 days a week, as well as extra help sessions in the afternoon and on Fridays. So it is a lot of work on my end, which is great. And I have my children yelling at me right now.
Yeah. Deal with it. Do what you gotta do.
Okay. Are they in the backyard? Is he in the backyard? Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. This is life on the fly.
I love this.
Okay. Hey, come here, girls. Come on. Where's your brother? Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Come on. Everybody inside. Was he in the backyard? Was someone in the backyard? He is? Did he spray the yard?
Not yet.
Okay. Will you go grab the dog toys out of the yard real quick?
Mommy,
so he doesn't spray them? I love it.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. No, you stay here. Come here, Penny. Come here, Penny. Come here. Inside, Stella. Come on, Stella. Come on. Sorry. They're supposed to call me when they're coming to spray the yard, and they never do.
Why would they?
I've asked, I'm like, I prefer you not put pesticides on my children, my dogs, or their toys before they put them in their mouth. Oh.
I mean, this is just life right now for everybody. We get interrupted a lot.
We do. I thought it was something really bad. That's not that bad.
We in the G's. What's that mean?
All right. Hey, I'm going to put a video on for you guys. Does that work since we're inside for a moment? Great. You want to watch Sing again? We love Sing.
Oh, that's such a good.
It's our favorite. We're going to have to turn that down slightly. Thank you, Rockstar. You are awesome and super fast.
What are we watching?
We're watching Sing again.
Again?
Yep, again.
We just came back in.
He just came back in?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, you're amazing. Thank you.
Look, he's right there.
Oh, he's actually picking stuff up. Okay. Great. Perfect. I will. Thank you. All right, now we can't go outside for a while. Hang tight. Okay. Whew. That's how we roll. Okay.
No, I love that.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That is fantastic. I think all of us are kind of dealing with that right about now. It's like you plan something and then 4 other things happen.
It's all day. It's okay. At least nobody died. That's my children are still alive, and that is my claim to fame every day at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's wonderful. All right.
All right,
So
I forget.
back to like, what is life like for a teacher from your perspective? So you have Zoom meetings, you have help in the afternoons. What else?
We have and so it's just a lot of it's a lot of prep work. I mean, obviously I have plans laid out, and everything has been flipped and flopped, and so it's creating lessons that are easy for the kids to follow outside of class and outside of my direction, and also something that is kind of interesting for them, because this is really hard for them to sit in front of a computer all day, even though we get a little bit of kind of face-to-face, this virtual reaction, but they are so screen heavy right now that it's just, I mean, their eyes hurt, their brain hurt. It's really hard. So getting them to learn and to comprehend something is very hard, because on the flip side too, a lot of parents are at home and they are also working. I mean, the same thing where the parents aren't able to be around the kids like I would normally during the day, a student. And so they don't have that even parent that is with them. And so that is really hard. And so a lot of times I'm like, go talk to your parents about this whenever they're done with work, or go for a walk with them. So it's very hard, I think, on everybody, because we've just been shoved into this, whether we wanted it or not.
Yeah, it's been so interesting to see how some people they're just like, you know what, I could do this online, I could hang out with my friends on Zoom or something like that, but they're like, I'm just over the screen thing right now.
Mm-hmm. I think initially it was at the beginning it wasn't that bad, but as it's worn on, and I think it's just really affecting our brains too. I mean, I don't want to, as soon as I'm done with work, my phone goes away. I don't want to be around or a computer.
I totally get that. So what do you see any of these elements that we've experienced with online school? Do you see any of that being permanent moving forward?
Well, obviously we have in place online school already, especially within Cobb County. There's a virtual learning academy as they get older into high school. Parameters kind of already in place. Some of it though is in person and online. So it's kind of already there. The setup is very different. I did my specialist degree years ago when it was online, and it wasn't as it was hard to engage, I'll tell you that. But as an adult, I was able to do it a whole lot easier, I think, than I'm going to call them kids in like middle school and high school and even elementary, where, I mean, more than half of their life is learning how to socialize and interact with each other. Because a screen is so different in interacting than actual person sending messages, sending text messages. And we're seeing that with how emails are sent. It's that texting that we're seeing instead of understanding the social dynamics.
Yeah.
But we were seeing that even before this virtual learning because of screens and iPhones and all that.
Yeah, it's one thing that like my wife and I talk about a lot, and that it's like, is this fundamentally changing my 3-year-old in socialization? Because we keep telling him, well, you got to keep your distance. You can't, we can't touch each other. We can't hug each other. And it's so like,
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's going to affect her for the rest of her life or not. And maybe it will. It probably will.
Yeah, I'm seeing that even with my kids. Mine are 7 and Andrew just turned 5, but it's very hard. I have to tell them, I'm like, it's not that your friends don't like you or they don't want to hang out with you, because that's definitely a concept that's running through their brain. I'm just like, we can't hang out with people right now. And they don't understand what really a virus is and how it is affecting them.
Oh yeah, especially with this kind of concrete thinking that most younger students are going to have, that if you can't see it, they don't necessarily understand it.
Correct.
So what are some of the struggles, like as a parent and as a teacher, what are some of the struggles that you've been facing besides the pesticide guy not calling?
Well, right. It's just having enough time for my kids. Because my kids are at the age where I need to sit with them and do their work so that they understand what they have to do. And a lot of times I'll have to replay the videos if Evelyn decides to watch them without me, so that I can understand what the teacher is teaching her and then put it kind of in words and terms that she gets, and also to help her with her work. So I have to sit with her one-on-one to get things done and to make sure she's comprehending that. So that's been hard. And same for my son, who he's in pre-K. So, and he also has his phenomenal teachers to address that. And that is really hard to do virtually too.
Oh yeah.
So that's the side where my kids need me almost one-on-one. And some days I have to choose which child gets my attention for the day. In addition to then I have my teaching that I do for all of my students. And then when I'm done with my classes, I put everything away. I'm a mom. I do everything I need to do. And then at like 9, well, it's usually later, it's like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night is when I get back to grading and prepping for schoolwork. And so I'm up hours, and it's been a lot of late night hours but that's how I'm having to get it done. I have to get it done. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think like it, depending on like a life situation, it's been a lot different for people. So like some people are saying that they're incredibly bored, and I get that, and there's struggles with that. But then there's also industries or professions like teachers that are just running and running and running and running. Like it's a lot.
It is, and it's one where we're trying to. I think me as me, I'm trying to find something the kids like to do, because this is, I teach science, and there's so much correlation going on in the world right now, and having them open their eyes and see that, we're stuck at home. How is that affecting air pollution? How is it affecting water pollution? Even though they're like, that stuff is boring, but it's massively important right now.
Yeah, it's been super interesting to see. Like I drive from Smyrna into the city every day, and to see the skyline clear up has been insane.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of some of the struggles.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I hate to say, I don't think it's going to stay that way forever.
Yeah, that's probably true. So we talked about some of the struggles that you've been at. What are some of the wins as a teacher, as a parent? What are some of the wins that you've seen over the last few weeks?
The wins are obviously I get to spend more time with my kids on a day-to-day. I get to really sit with them and see where their strengths and their weaknesses are, and their creativity. My daughter has to sit and write a couple times a day, or a couple times a day. That would be amazing. A couple times a week, and to see what's going on in her brain and what excites her, and get it on paper. That is really neat. And the other side is the non-schoolwork, where I mean, I'd say they have hours where they have to kind of occupy themselves, and to see the bonds between the two. They love to climb trees now. They dig anything possible. My daughter can find a worm within a centimeter squared outside. And so we were just very kind of in tune. We've been watching birds make nests and lay eggs. We've been watching the flowers bloom. So just kind of things that we wouldn't normally do. We've been able to slow down and really take in.
That's very cool. So sorry, my internet messed up for a second.
That's good. Mine's going in and out too. Sorry.
You're good. What are some things that you've noticed about students and how they're learning and how they're kind of taking all of this in?
I think there's always going to be lots of variations within the students. Some of them are really engaged and like the topics that we're talking about. I do earth science, so either you kind of like it or you don't. So, it's either kind of engaging, or they're just like, I'm the week of this virtual learning. You can really see it in their posture, in their eyes. Some of them are just really tired. And I can totally get that. If their parents are working a whole lot and they don't see them, you see kind of that withdrawal from them. And even like this interaction, or they're sitting on their phone as we're trying to have Zoom calls. And I'm like, hey, I know you're not looking at the screen. I'd love to engage with you, but you got to engage back with me.
I heard, don't tell anybody you heard this from me, but I have heard that some students on their little Zoom name are renaming themselves Reconnecting and then just walking away.
Well, we have a lot of rules. I hate to say, we have a lot of rules and regulations. So if students rename themselves, they don't get let into our classes, or they get kicked out. And then if they don't show up to class, then they can get in trouble for not participating. So we have a lot of different rules set forth, and we had a lot of Zoom meetings of parameters and settings that we had to do to make sure that our students were safe, mm-hmm. because people were jumping into Zoom meetings that should not be there and doing things that apparently young students should not be seeing or hearing. So we've really tried to create a safe virtual environment for everybody, which has been obviously on the fly, and we are learning very quickly.
Yeah, I think all of us did, and even the company Zoom was adjusting and trying to figure it all out.
They've been phenomenal. All these online platforms have just they've been working around the clock to try to figure it out, because obviously this is unprecedented, and they're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. Is there something you would want all parents to know? Like, if you could tell every parent something about online school, what would you want them to know?
I think it's a good. Obviously, we're in it. We're in it to win it. So this is a good platform. And the kids are going to complain one way or another. They complain that they're at school. They complain they're at home. But I would just say, as soon as their work day is done, they need to engage their own kids, and say, hey, what did you learn? And really kind of dig in. And if the kids don't want to talk about school, find something else to talk about. Get off screens, and just, that's that family time that we can really engage and connect and build. And my students that are middle school, this is already a tough time, between parents and child. And so it's the parent needs to engage. And I know that's hard because I have to do that with my own kids. And at the end of the day, some days I'm done. I am absolutely done, but I have to remember that they are more important than me being a little tired. And that part I've had to adapt and self-talk myself into. They need that. They need me more than I need to be in front of a computer. And at the end of the day, they need 5 minutes of just them time or even more. So it's hate to say it's that, I think it's being less selfish and really looking at your kids and seeing what they need, especially in this time.
Yeah, it's so hard because obviously you need to take care of yourself, but at the same time, I've always told parents, and this is always the truth, that you as the parent are always going to have more influence over your student than I ever will as a youth pastor or their teachers will. It's what happens. I know that the best influence for Nova and Pax are my wife and I. Like, that's just how it works. And they see everything. They also hear everything. I'm not going to get into what my kids are saying sometimes, but
well, that's, I mean, you and we've had this conversation. I have adapted my schedule. So I work out uber early in the morning when they're asleep or they're just getting up, so that the afternoon time is for them when I would normally be working out and when it would be so much easier. But I have to adapt that because they need mom. They need the mom side of me 100%. And so I've had to learn that the hard way and adapt.
Yeah. So you do work at a private school. It is a Christian school. How are you guys helping students stay connected to Jesus during all this?
Well, the fact that we can talk about Jesus and intertwine it in our curriculum every day in any way possible is awesome. So me being an earth science teacher, I'm always referring back to, hey, this is how God created it in Genesis. Check this out with the stars, how God created the stars. And so for me, it's pretty easy to do that. I'm constantly having them find Bible verses or ways that everything kind of connects together. We have Bible classes, and that is obviously they specifically talk about different parts of the Bible depending on their grade. They tackle different components. So as teachers, we all try to intertwine it as best we can, and so we can bring it up all the time in our curriculum, which is great. That is
pretty good. So just you at this point, what is God kind of teaching you through all this?
God is teaching me, like I've kind of known that my kids are very important, and I don't think I have been giving them enough of me. And I know that's really hard, and I get very agitated that I have to push them away during parts of the day. As you saw, we're trying to teach or talk with you, and they're coming running in, and they're like, "Mom, I need you." And it's that, like, do you need me right now? Like, is it really right now you need me? And it's stepping back and reminding they do. I mean, if they say I need you, they need me. And I think that's been a really, really hard part. Because normally if I'm home like this, it's summertime and we are goofing around doing whatever, and I am 100% with them. And so every day I have to have that conversation. I'm getting on a call. I'm not just staring at my computer. I have to talk to my students. I allow them, they join in my classroom all the time. It's kind of funny. So one of my classes, Andrew has a bunch of big brothers in, and so I'm like, this is your big brother class. So he'll join me in the class, talk to him for a little bit. So that part has been really sweet for my students to see the mom side of me, and for my kids to join and see the students interacting with me. So that has been very, very sweet, because that doesn't normally happen. But yeah, it's the age that my kids are, they are, Evelyn's 7 and Andrew's 5, is just, they need me more than then I think I had been available to them.
Yeah, that's such a struggle for me too, of like balancing kids and work and
Hmm.
whatever else it might be. Of yeah, they really do need you at that moment, and it might,
Hmm.
they might be wanting you to kill an earthworm or something like that. I don't know, but like something that doesn't actually need immediate attention, but actually needs
That's the
immediate
only thing
attention.
it's the only thing that's running through their brain at that time. And I mean, that transcends so many age groups though. I mean, even to my middle school students, I mean, when they say, Mom, Dad, I need you, I mean, they do. And
Mhm.
it's something, and I look back at when I was younger, and I remember, whenever I needed my parents, like I remember being like, okay, I have to have them right now. And it kind of, I mean, was even into my 20s, I was like, I need them right now. And so it realizing that I am a significant influencer, an important part of their life, and I need to be available.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts that you would want people to know about online school, that you would want people to know about what it's like to be a teacher and a parent all at the same time, and anything you might have for the parents out there that might be listening to this?
Um, it's hard for everybody. It's not hard just for a teacher. Yes, it's hard for me, but you know what? It's hard for you as a youth pastor. It's hard for my husband is he has a job where he is mandated to work, so he's outside of the house. Anybody, you look across everybody. This is so hard for everybody, and it's okay to say it's hard, and it's okay to admit that, because I think a lot of times, especially as adults, I'm like, oh no, I can do it all, and
Mm,
I can tackle it, and that's fine. But admitting that it's hard, and really taking that to God as well, and finding time to spend with Him, because I know that as soon as I am, when I get up and I'm start chugging through the day, if I haven't spent time really praying and being intentional, the day just goes.
mhm.
And at the very end of the day, I'm like, what happened? Where did it all go? So, um, giving ourselves grace as adults, as parents. Also, I mean, I'm going to blow up at my kids. I hate to say it. It happens, and it will happen probably once we get off this Zoom call, because that's kind of how Satan works. And knowing that, okay, I can still ask my kids for forgiveness, and I do often. I'm sorry I was a bad mom. And then always trying to just know that God loves us regardless.
Yeah, I think that's huge. To have that centering time, whether it's at the beginning of your day, middle of your day, end of the day, but being able to center yourself in Jesus, and then also realizing that you got to give yourself grace and ask for grace from others. That's some great advice. I appreciate
We just got to live it out.
it. Awesome. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. And if there's any questions that I ever have about earth science, I'm going to come to you.
Hey, I can help you out a little bit there. I gotcha.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Smyrna First Youth Ministry podcast, where our entire goal is to send students on their journey in a manner worthy of God. If you have any questions whatsoever, my name's Jono. I'd love for you to reach out, whether via text or email or anything that we can possibly do for you. We are here for you in whatever way that we can. We are praying for you. We love you. And may grace and peace be with you.